Yeah. Okay, so then what we have here, so what dense connective tissue, so there are types, and we are a little over time. I will try to finish this. If you have something to go to, by all means go to your next class. But what we have here is that, okay, so dense connective tissues compared to the loose connective tissues, more of the fibers, less of the ground substance. Oh, Nightbot, you're being too hyperactive. Okay, so dense connective tissues, classic examples like tendons that connect your muscles. So, or connect your muscles to bones, I should say. So dense regular connective tissue, notice that tons and tons of fibers are all packed in there. And you don't really, you see some fibroblasts are smashed in there as well, so you still have cells. But you don't see a lot of white open air, or not open air, ground substance spaces between these fibers. So again, dense connective tissue is called dense because it's very, very solid. So what we have here with dense regular connective tissue, I like to draw this analogy. If you have apologies to our vegan viewers, but if you ever had a poke bowl with like our favorite ahi tuna, well, if you ever had that, and then you've ever had that where you eat a poke bowl and then you're like, oh, I got floss after, something stuck between my teeth. Typically, you're eating the tendons and collagen that helps to surround the fascia that surrounds the meat. So tendon, or sometimes you get the tendons that attach the meat of the fish to the bones. So tendons attach muscles to bones, and another example of dense regular connective tissue are ligaments. And ligaments connect bones to bones, but not only bones to bones, but they also attach organs to other tissues as well. So this is my favorite mnemonic I learned from a previous student. So T-bones. So what starts with T? Tendons. So tendons attach muscles to bone. So yes, meat is muscle. Some people are like, whoa, mind blown. But yes, meat is muscle from an animal. But with a T-bone, you have tendons that connect the muscle to the bones. And then there's also something called aponeuroses. And when we talk about skeletons and muscles next unit, we'll talk about some classic examples. But instead of being or if you're from Hawaii, you might have heard the term suji, where you get that like you're eating poke or fish, and then you get that little like threads that kind of get stuck between your teeth. But sometimes you see some poke chunks where instead of being like a little thread of fibers and connective tissue, it's actually like you kind of almost have to peel it off. That's what aponeurosis is like. So it's a sheet attached to a flat muscle. Okay, so then dense irregular connective tissue. So same thing in general. I'm talking about fibers versus ground substance. More of these fibers, but instead of being parallel, notice that they're all kind of like irregularly shaped, not parallel. And why do some look like little blobs? Well, some of these fibers are going this way, and some are going toward you. So this is why they kind of look all like different mishmash right here. Because instead of being parallel like a tendon, these are kind of like forming this multi-directional network. So this is what they are. So instead of being just, so they're denser than reticular tissue, but they still form this like different arrangement that's not parallel. So instead of being like this, it's kind of like all this different ways. So this is actually why your skin is able to tug in multiple directions, because you have these collagen fibers going into multiple directions across your skin in which way and in and out. And let's see, so actually we can cover this later. This is like actually a really useful root word, peri. So the ones that not only in your skin, but you also have connective tissue that surrounds your bones and cartilage as well. And some organs, like so your organs might not have like a bone that like, well, your brain has a dense connect, or actually not dense connective tissue. It has bone, which is a spur of connective tissue. But sometimes some organs in your body, instead of having a bone or something solid structure, has this dense irregular connective tissue that kind of forms this tough capsule. So it's kind of there not only for protection, but kind of like a rash guard, because you're always moving and your organs can move in your body. But what prevents them from rubbing against each other and starting to disintegrate and into nothing, that's what we have with a capsule for. So dense irregular and dense regular, it's all about arrangement. They still have more fibers compared to fluid ground substance, but it's just whether it's like uniformly arranged or in multiple directions. And let's see, elastic tissue, again, It looks similar at the microscopic level, but the key difference between elastic dense or dense regular elastic tissue and dense connective tissue is that does it have more collagen or does it have more elastin? So if it has more elastic fibers, it's an elastic tissue.